It was a very challenging, complicated, difficult year emotionally because we were living out of boxes. But then as time went on and the construction started, we're thinking, oh my God, another milestone. They were like miniature bursts of excitement and enthusiasm, and we really needed that. Now in reflection back, it was a hard year. I told you many times that it was, oh no, we're okay. And at the moment we were. But then now we think back, it's like, how on earth did we have the strength to get through it? It's like we were numb for 11 months or almost 12 months. It was Friday morning, December 20th. We knew all week it was going to be a catastrophic day. We knew it was going to be 46-degree temperatures. So we personally were on high alert. Normally, my wife would have come with me to the airport with my mother to see our son off, and we would have gone to breakfast after that and then made our way back home. But that day, it's an unspoken language between my wife and I. We just knew. My wife says, I'm staying home. Obviously, I knew what that meant. As soon as I drove off, the phone rang. She calls me, panic in her voice. I could hear it. No, hello, sweetheart, how are you? There's a bushfire. I'm getting in the car. I'm going to find where it is. I said, hang on, what do you mean? Cudlee Creek, there's a bushfire. Apparently this, that, and the other happened. I want to go see where the smoke is. So she got in the car, turned around, came back, called me, and she said, there's smoke everywhere. I get home, and I can see as I'm driving up the road, I was thinking, oh my God, this is... So I get into the house. Sophia had already started packing. I go to my mother. She's in her mid-80s, and I said, Mom, get your medicines, get your doctor's papers, just grab a few things, but I think we should leave. And I think we should leave now. As we drove off, we could see the fire over the hill, and I'm thinking, this day's gonna get worse very quick. And then all of a sudden I get a phone call, and it started off with, I'm sorry. And I knew at that moment, that was it. My wife was staring at me, and she turned white like a ghost because she knew what that meant. As I said. I was concerned about looters and things like that. I wanted to get here as soon as possible because at that point we still had hope that there might be something left. We get to the bottom of our property and we look up and there was nothing. There was nothing. And here's the devastation. Because I'm positive, because I only see the silver lining in everything, I only see the good, the glass is always half full. The moment I got the phone call, the first thing I thought was, what are going to be the first words that I say to my wife? Probably the words she's going to remember for the rest of her life. And I said, you're going to get that kitchen that you wanted. Our bushfire plan always was, have good insurance and leave. There's no point when you're paying for insurance to risk your lives, unless it's a small fire. But what was coming, there's no way. That's how hot the fire was. Melted glass. What we lost is material. We'll rebuild it, and we signed a contract with the builder on December 27th. And on December 31st, he was out here doing a survey on New Year's Eve, doing a survey of the land, getting things ready. He knew we wanted to move extremely quick. We'll get something hopefully nicer. We'll have our home. We'll rebuild it. When I saw the pizza oven, it was actually quite emotional because I thought, hey, something survived. And here we are 26 weeks later, and we're already at this stage. I mean, it's been a lot of work. It's been an emotional roller coaster, but we're making the most amount of fun out of it possible. And that's kept our sanity right. This is the entrance. So this is how people will arrive to the house. They'll arrive through that door. That's all aluminium, no wood on that door. In fact, there's no wood. I want this to be perfect. So the business has slowed down because of that, but then it's taken also another hit because of the pandemic and I'm unable to travel. Thankfully, the business is strong enough and we're strong enough to manage to take a year off to deal with this. We have another niche in this wall here, and we're actually putting a pot in this niche that survived. So in the house, we had a pot on top of a bookcase. The house burnt, the bookcase burnt, the pot fell to the ground, and that was on the first level. The roof then fell on top of it. The pot survived. Wow. I had to crawl underneath the roof to get it, and it's going there. I didn't expect it to be here when the bushfire came through. Never would have expected this to happen. Never in my life did I think our house would be taken by bushfire. And to think this is what we've got now as a result of that, I have to say, wow. But you've got to have the right insurance and the right value. I've heard some very bad statistics from the bushfire here about how so many people were grossly underinsured. Thankfully, we were not one of them. We were properly insured. We opted for big windows throughout the house. Obviously, the views are fantastic. But the idea was to let in as much light as possible because the views are so good. We don't want to block the views. This is our lounge over there. And there's niches in the wall. This is for Sophia to display her artwork. But it's built on a lot of loss. And Sophia said the other day, as friends come to visit us once we move in and see everything in the house is new. Everything will be new, 100% new. And they're going to think, you know, wow, this is very nice. This is very nice. What did you spend for this and what did you spend for that? And my wife's already prepared her response. What did it cost us? Everything. Although we're going to get a beautiful home, at the end of the day, we paid a huge price. When we moved in, it felt immediately like home. And the reason for that is the builder knows as well, because they worked with us through all this. We made a lot of changes through the construction phase, a lot of changes. And we perfected this, we adjusted that, we modified this. So we made it our home before we even moved in. Hello. Come on in. This is a new house, yes it is. Had the builder make these niches on the wall for Sophia to display her artwork. This is her first creation. This is a LED light of the bushfire. Now this is a survivor. This is the pot that I pulled out from underneath the rubble of the house. It's cracked, but it's still intact. The house had to be lined up to the pizza oven. And so the builders told us they never had to build a house to make sure it incorporated the pizza oven. But because that was a survivor, well, we had to do that. And it's all designed to just have a lot of fun, enjoy the views, and the peace and quiet. Sophia says, when you're inside the house looking out, the views are the same. The views haven't changed. The only thing we can lose now is what we just acquired in the past 11 months. Whereas what we had before that goes back to our great-grandparents, so 100, 150 years. The worst we can lose now is ourselves, our safety, our health, our pets. If another bushfire comes through, we'll do the same thing. We'll leave. So our property is protected. We make sure our property is prepared. It's definitely bushfire ready. I hope it doesn't happen again, but if it does, we're ready.